What's good, everybody? It's your boy Romanpuss, also known as Roman P, also known as Roman. Not really Roman P, I just kind of made that one up. But today, we're here with another episode of Bounty Rush, and I want to go over the class of the attackers today. Now, don't get me wrong, I could like to consider it the most somewhat, how should I say this, to not offend any attacker mains out there, but like it is generally fairly brainless, but it requires a lot of skill. I will give you, they require a lot of skill. So like defenders, I would give requires much more decision making, whereas attackers kind of require a lot more mechanics and then outplay, and then they can do more with it because defenders are a little more forgiving. And I will definitely give runners are probably the combination of both. I want to go over some tips, some facts, things that I got from attackers. I have not played the most of attacker skill, but I generally have a good idea of how it is. Even though you are an attacker, you are kind of the swayer of the game. If you outplay someone and can take over and kill someone and you get a free treasure open for your team, you just might have won the game. So I want to get into it. Let's take a look and see what we have here. My best attackers are Keta and this Luffy here, so that's what I had to work with. It's not the best combo. Honestly, I didn't like playing it that much, and even though my Luffy's level 100 and my Keta's only level 87 or 88 right now, or 89, so he's getting up there. But Keta is definitely much better than the Luffy, and we'll get into that, and I'll show you. Some general tips and things that I would like to suggest for attackers is, one, don't take the first treasure. Just don't. You don't. You just don't. You leave that for not the runners, for your defenders. If you don't have defenders, then obviously go ahead and take it. But don't take it, and don't sit there and try and charge it. That is not your job.
That is not my job.
You're wasting time. You're wasting valuable things, and your skill cooldowns. You could run in, go blow your cooldowns, and honestly, if you really have nothing better to do, go back and charge it. But you sitting there with your cooldowns up, doing nothing, charging a treasure is probably the worst thing you could be doing, because attackers generally, for example, let's look at Keta, their traits scale and increase their stats. You do increased damage around the enemy's treasure, 30%, which means you excel around the enemy's treasure, which means you should not be charging your own treasure. Now let's say it with me now. I am an attacker main, and I will not sit there and charge the treasure when I have a defender on it. Okay, now that we got that cringe out of the way, let's look at the characters. Best attackers right now. Keta is up there. He's red. He's good right now. We have Keta. We have this Luffy. No, time skip Luffy is definitely up there still. Everyone has him for free now. He's pretty good. Bonchan, no, don't use him. Just don't use him. You gotta love that guy, but no, just don't use him. There's time skip Luffy. Is fairly good. I'm just gonna go through my attackers first. G4 Luffy, really good. King Kong gun, giant hitbox. I think it's ridiculous sometimes, but maybe that's just me. I get hit by it all the time playing Mama, and I swear I dodge it on my screen, but other people say they don't. Mihawk, meh. Kuro, don't use. True. Anything like, I'm just gonna go over the 4 stars. I'm gonna skip the lower tiers for now because they're not that good. Akainu, let's say he's above alright. He's above average. Blue Ace, not that great. Oh, I almost forgot Kid. Kid, I've seen them lately. They've seemed to have been doing better, but I think he just kind of sits in the alright category. Ace does not seem that good if you've not played him in these event things where it's all blues, all reds. I've gotten him a few times. His auto attack just seems fairly odd. The red Ace feels a lot better than the blue Ace. Let's see. That's a Usopp. Doesn't matter. Not going to count that one. Let's hope I don't miss any other of the 4 stars that I have. Arlong does not seem very good. I wouldn't really use him. Red Robin. Robin here seems pretty alright. She can be good. Her stomp thing that gives the tremor ability, I would go with. That seems, she's alright. She's alright. Red Ace seems pretty good. You can only get him from Cola. Stampede Sabo. Almost forgot him because I don't have him, but Stampede Sabo's up there. He's definitely one of the S tier characters. We have Blue Nami. She can be super annoying. I've not seen, there's not been enough gameplay of her to make a valid judgment. I would definitely rank blue fighters up there. Blue and greens, probably. The only thing is the red Dolphies. Like, Blue Jinbei coming out tomorrow is going to be extremely good. I think he'll be good just because he is a blue fighter. He'll be good for the Dolphys, and Dolphy, I literally went against a match of 4 of them today, and it was obnoxious. Just runners everywhere, all day, every day. TS Sanji, really good. A lot of people are good with him. I am not that good with him, given when I've played with him, but his abilities are really strong, can one-shot you, even Big Mom. Enaru, not that good just because there's so many Luffys and he doesn't have anything to fight Luffy with. I believe that is most, if not all of them. There's the Arm Point Chopper. Arm Point Chopper I thought felt good, but he is not very good. With that, I'll move on from there. Obviously, as an attacker, you'll be building full attack. Pretty much every class builds full attack. Kata is really good. Definitely Kata, Zorojuro, Stampede Sabo are probably the top tier attackers. Is that one? Kata's red, Stampede Sabo's green, Zorojuro's blue. Yeah, so those are your top 3 colors I would consider. Maybe Jinbei will uptake that. We're gonna find out once I see a little gameplay of him, and we'll do a review on him as well. Let's get into it. Let's get a few games going and see what we have here. We're using Kata. We have Kata, Luffy, and obviously I have a Helmeppo. I'm going to go over, I pre-recorded this game because I was running through, testing some things. I wanted to see which ones were good and how they went. My Kata is only 89, so we only have the 2 medals. I use the Cracker Smoothie medal right now. Cracker gives you the crit, advance 80% crit, I believe, once you hit 30% HP or lower. And then the Smoothie gives you skill 2 cooldown 8% per kill. Obviously, as an attacker, we don't have any defenders, so I didn't bother to go through that treasure anyway. Dolphy's right there. Now we'll see if I time it right. I did not time it right. You can, if you wait a little longer, you can always hit that. I wish I would have done it right there, but I did not get that at that point. Now, dodge it. Obviously, the thing with attackers is almost 100% always comes down to mechanics. You always want to be able to outplay. Sometimes it's difficult due to the lag, though. I've noticed another thing with attackers is colors matter so much more. Like, I can play Big Mom, I can play Croco, and the colors feel like they don't matter nearly as much. I'm sitting here, I'm looking around. Obviously, it's super low. I didn't want to waste too much charging. I had my skill 2 on cooldown, so I have this Dolphy here that I fight. And it literally just comes down to a mechanics outplay. Whoever has the best mechanics, this kid doesn't know where the fish is, and he goes pa into the center and almost dies. So that worked in my favor because he doesn't know how the map works. This Shanks gets bopped. I hate when the game does that where you have like both get knocked back, but it happens, I guess. So it's alright. We kill him. The Shanks is not that good. Kata's just way stronger. I don't believe we get this yet. I believe someone comes up the side. No, we get it. We're good. We got it there. I try to do good jobs in between, you know, keep up the morale, keep things going. That Perona just bops him. And there's my whiff of the abilities. I generally, as Kata, I shouldn't be sitting here. We have the large majority of the treasures. It's a rare occurrence when you can bum rush the 5th and go for the all 5 kills. Me personally, as when I play the attacker, I don't do it. If you are confident in your mechanics and much more confident than I am, then I say go for it. Kill her. She one shot. She's one tap. I feel bad when I kill these Peronas because they're so squishy. So I get this. I take the treasure back. We're looking good. We're looking great. My whole team. Oh, that dude is using Kobe Helmeppo. Yeah, so that ends up being rough. This dude gets the treasure almost. And I pop him. Without a doubt. I do fat damage. This, you just gotta juke those. Luffy's kind of annoying, and I definitely recommend it for starters, like the time skip Luffy, because he has that instantaneous, invulnerable attack. The Elephant Gatling gun, something like that of the sort. I definitely recommend that, like, if you are looking for a beginner attacker, because he's very easy to, like, one-shot, like, 4 people. And I wish I had my attacker. I didn't realize the 2 of them were both just, like, sitting there and the Perona was just walking away. I had the attack debuffs, so that's why we sadly lost this game. We got a good score. It was unfortunate, it was sad, but we do it. We rank high, we get some kills. With Kata, I believe the most kills I've gotten has been somewhere around 11 kills. Now let's move into the next game here. So what we got, again, I went with the Kata Luffy. That's all I have for attackers. Attackers is really a simple, like, level, just if you are a mechanical god and can read your opponent, I mean, most of it comes down to being a guessing game, because sometimes you play people who just don't, like when you walk up to a treasure and you expect them to dodge, they just don't dodge and they keep grabbing the treasure. It's just a mind game. That's all it is. That's how most of like these fights come out to be. Kind of try to avoid, obviously, the color mashup. You want to be in your like advantage color, if not the same color. If you have the Grand Line stack, you will have the 15% reduced damage from your color. It has to be full like 600 points worth of attacker stack, so, or worth of Grand Line stacks, but that's not too hard to get given most of the characters you get in the beginning are Grand Line. Obviously, if you get that, like you get that invulnerability, you want to definitely use one of your abilities that can hit them hard. Obviously, if they have their juke up, then you will maybe miss that. Sometimes it's better to dodge, hold it for about half a second. If you hold it for half a second, a lot of the great players will sit there and dodge instantaneously back, and that way you can just kill them and one-shot them. Once again, hitting my good job. If you ever see me spamming get treasure at the beginning, I apologize. Your boy is super tilted. So, it happens. It doesn't mean anything. It just happens. And here I get my booty wrecked by this G4 Luffy, just because I always get thrown off by which one is his juke, like which one is his dodge and which one's his like tier 3 attack. Sometimes they just double tap attack and then they just dodge. Like, that's why, like, I think that character's kind of baloney, I guess, to keep it PG. Like, you can't have your attack move the same as your dodge move. There's no differentiating when, like, obviously if he just uses his dodge, like, you can tell when he uses his dodge if he's not attacking. But if he's straight up attacking, then you got nothing to go off of. So, there's the Zorojuro's, he's blue. It just happens. Here we almost get wrecked. We get down super low. The one thing to remember, don't get frustrated early on in these games. I'm sure a lot of people will like know, but like if you're beginning, you're starting out, don't worry about the first 2 minutes of the game. They mean nothing. Sometimes only the last 10 seconds means anything. Obviously, if you get down to the last 45 seconds, then that's much more important. Nami, easy to kill. I'm on her treasure. I have 30% bonus damage. Free low. Kata's kind of a lot stronger because when he gets hit, he gets a regen on his dodge. So he's kind of a pain if you can't directly one-shot him. But he's fairly squishy, so most people can pretty much one-shot him. So let's see here. Team's actually doing work this game. Sometimes you get those games and it feels really great. Watch this, I pop these kids. Obviously, he's a Ryuma, so he's not too hard. We do that, we one-shot him. Get that Luffy dodge, reload. I don't know why he used that ability right then and there. Beats me. But this kid just goes. I saw his dodge went down, so I used my abilities. If you see someone's dodge go down, be sure to hit them with your hardest. Try not to just like auto them, because generally won't do as much. I got the free feast too, so I beat him there as well. So I could have actually killed him there had the battle continued because I had the advantage. We won. Fortunately, I didn't get MVP that game, but you can definitely carry with the attackers. If your team is sitting even and unable to get like past that middle treasure or something, I say strongly recommend moving on and going beyond that treasure point and going to a different enemy treasure if you can. Obviously, if your team's getting booty bumped, then like you got to do something about that, but try to fight on enemy treasure if your traits enable that. If you're Zorojuro and like defending works best, then go ahead and do that. Just play off your traits. I promise it's definitely like recommended. Make sure you have good medals. A lot of the attacker medals that I have seen, I don't have them built because I have not gone for those yet, but it is the Shanks medal. We have when you're more than 70, you get cooldown on your dodge, so that's really good. It is Shanks, and then I believe it's Arlong and Karubi. So Karubi, when your strength's more than 70%, then you get 10% on your skill 1. And then with these tags, you'll have these two, which will give you 14% on that, which ends up to 24% while you're above 70% HP. So these stats just pretty much go for your 70% and above. And I believe the Arlong one has the same type. When you KO an opponent boost by 80%, that's why they go that. So that way you don't even have to build crit. It works in your favor. So Arlong, Karubi, and Shanks. Those 3 medals, obviously full attack, so you want the 70% attack with the 300 flat attack with probably a defense or an HP. You can get more stats if you have all 14% medals, obviously, so that's my recommendation for attacker medals. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. I hope you learned at least one thing from this, and I hope I am doing well. If you have a question or something, I will answer it gladly in a future video. Feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe if you liked it. If you didn't, hit that fat thumbs down, let me know. And with that, your boy is out. Peace.